The Midnight Thunder Show is AI-generated satire.
It is animated sketch comedy. It is a cartoon.
None of the voices, faces, or events you're about to witness are real.
It is just a computer impersonating people. If you're mad about it, why so serious, baby cakes? It's just software. Excelsior, explorers. Our planning for tonight's communique began in typical fashion, as a mirthful romp meant to uplift our comrades and inspire a sense of adventure. As you know, the International Explorers League transcends politics, but sometimes the world gets in the way. There are some educated imbeciles that need a talking to. They claim themselves as champions of the oppressed, when they, themselves, are the oppressors. I've been ordered by the Board of Sovereigns to ruin this episode and take these brats out back to the woodshed. We'll return to shenanigans next time. Disclaimer: if you're about to go to college and you're excited about that, don't watch. If you work in higher ed, don't watch. If you make over $150K a year and consider yourself middle class, don't watch. You've been warned.
In the darkness, I stand alone. No family, no place to call home. Over burning barrels, I warm my hands, licking the dribbles from sardine cans. I dream you'll adopt me, this is true, but status and leisure matter more to you. But you've got money, a fat bankroll, to throw at things and cleanse your soul.
My career provides my
I need to worry about my self-care.
We couldn't possibly.
We must help the orphans. I donate my precious pearls.
I donate my Rolex.
Don't be cheap.
Fine, also my Patek Philippe.
We're amazing people.
If I write a check, I don't have to do anything.
Everything is someone else's problem.
Let's do shots. Hey, orphan, take a selfie with us.
Is he wearing a toupee?
Who said that?
It was her.
He said it.
She's the one.
I think it looks very natural.
This is my real hair.
Of course
There was
it
never
is.
any doubt.
Only a fool would think otherwise.
Convincing color right now.
Of a bitch.
I've got a 1029V, west on Madison from State. Steel gray with glowing amber trim, some kind of electric supercar.
Already on at Unit 12.
They just robbed the orphans gala.
Get
out of the car!
Eat my electrons, copper!
Pull over!
No, thank you. I'm out of my element. I don't take orders from dinosaurs.
Sorry, Command. I lost him. There isn't a car in the world that can catch that thing.
He's a middle-aged guy, cool as can be. Old head shining with dignity. He's got a cool crowd, Mercury Grand Marquis, driving through the town causing envy. to the Midnight Thunder Show. Let's go!
I love these Slinky Top 40 rhythms.
Knees, I'm feeling on the knees. My urge is at the boiling point. My hands up on your strongest joint. Knees, and juicy naughty knees. Patella, femur, tibia, feel the hottest part of you.
Are angels known for dancing? Pedantic. I'm jubilant, exploring my body through movement. Easy, Kemosabe. Our last adventure pushed your V8 crucible beyond tolerance. This I vow, old friend. You'll be back in top tune before the first blush of morn. I miss your voice too. Thankfully, you're able to communicate through your anti-theft device. Nothingness comes next, I'm afraid. I need to disconnect your battery. When you die, what do you dream of?
Don't need no leggings, don't want no pants when you dance.
We interrupt the broadcast with an urgent all-points bulletin.
The 518 Orphans Gala has been robbed. The perps were last seen heading west out of Albany along Delaware Turnpike, rocket speed toward
The northern Catskills, the hill towns, an ancient clutch of escarpments, valleys, switchbacks, iron roads of darkness. Only the bravest venture there, and only the most skilled motorists.
Witnesses are posting footage on the gram. I've never seen anything move so fast.
Words useless.
What do we need?
Firepower!
We need to move. I got a spark in my ear.
I'll never forget the look on their faces.
I generally applaud psychopathic thinking, but come on. They're just kids.
I was talking about the adults. You can take my pearls, but you can't have my purse.
Yeah. How about I take your pearls and your Hermes purse and throw in those Manolo Blahnik peep-toed pumps while you're at it? I feel bad for the kids.
Me too.
Gonna be a cold, hungry winter.
Don't worry. Those virtue-peddling narcissists will give up their primal fitness classes and wellness apps to make sure the orphans get what they need.
Who knows? They may even adopt one.
I think we're getting a little heavy-handed with the humor.
You're awfully quiet, old man.
We should keep moving.
Come on, loosen up, have a beer.
We're doing that thing, boss.
What thing?
That arrogant bad guy thing where we drop our guard and start gloating before the job is done.
Be calm, my toady. Nothing can catch us. Electro is as fast as lightning.
Electro is lightning.
But after the lightning must come...
Let's get out of here!
Tag, you're it.
Is that?
It can't be.
You're faster. Let's find out.
We are in the northern Catskills. That is a 2009 Mercury Grand Marquis, but he's just a story.
A Valkyrie, a Pegasus.
A myth.
Does that feel like a myth to you?
Nice tush, honey buns.
I'm getting motion sickness.
I'm gonna puke!
Do you think he'll agree to a pee break?
What does it run on? Magic?
He's got nitroglycerin in his veins.
Where's Dad?
I don't know, but he better pick up some half and half on the way home.
You're super hot. Rats. So close. No next. I'm calling it. At least we tried. What are you doing? Let me break! You'll crack your block! No more Shakespeare! Split your crankcase and you die. For good. Forever.
He's boiling over.
You smoked him, boss.
Finally, can we pee?
I'm reminded of an old Pete Seeger song.
Why don't you pull over and sing us a few bars? Great.
John Henry hammered the mountainside. His hammer was striking fire. But he worked so hard he broke his heart. He laid down his hammer and
died.
Hardy har har hee 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 ha ha ha.
We're running low on juice.
Fear not. There's just enough Q to limp us back to our lair.
Oh, shit. Looks like Mommy forgot to charge your iPad.
This is the worst day of my life.
Shut up.
Your foot was in my mouth.
How is that my fault?
You could have pulled it out faster.
We were flying through the air.
How did we get up here?
We crashed and exploded, stupid.
Stupid. This whole thing was your plan.
Stop fighting, guys.
Less blame, more positive affirmation.
You should be ashamed of yourselves.
I am.
And remorseful?
You bet.
Rate those distinct yet overlapping emotions on a scale of 1 to 10.
Depends on the punishment.
Oh, you're talking about your crimes or whatever.
What are you talking about?
About that disgusting rat pelt on your head.
It's my reel.
It's hanging to the side, you idiot!
No!
Bald men are internationally revered for their integrity, modesty, and prowess in the boudoir.
You tell him, honey.
Did you hear that?
Sorry.
Ask next time.
You're disgrace to balds everywhere.
He's right, boss.
It's been pretty rough.
People don't take us seriously when you wear that thing.
And you don't need it. You're handsome just the way you are.
What did I walk in on?
Just some emotionally literate men supporting one another.
Glad to see you're all in touch with your feelings. Now get down from there so I can take you to jail.
I'm twisted like a pretzel.
I like it up here.
My pants got blown
Did you bring a ladder?
I'm sure someone has one.
Did anyone bring a ladder?
I couldn't fit a bagged lunch
I don't
in
even
this
have
thing.
a trunk.
You know, in all the excitement, I forgot what this was all about.
That higher education is an extortion racket?
I wouldn't have chased you over that.
That earning a degree is not an accomplishment, that having one proves nothing about you, and the whole system is a joke.
You robbed someone, right?
50% of all jobs currently require post-secondary education.
By 2031, we estimate that 72% of jobs will require post-secondary education or training.
Of all jobs, regardless of salary?
Oddly, we couldn't find the data broken out that way.
Thankfully, we're good at screwing around on the internet.
Go to Indeed, enter a humdrum American city. Set the pay at $22.50 an hour, $45,000 a year.
Voila, 8,446 job openings.
Now set education to high school degree.
Boring. Everyone knows that college is a pathway to higher pay.
Nearly 2/3 of American workers do not have a 4-year college degree. Screening by college degree hits minorities particularly hard, eliminating 76% of black adults and 83% of Latino adults.
So, 10 college grads for every 20 non-college grads. 50% of available jobs require no degree, 50% do.
But that's not true. The jobs are divvied, half requiring a degree, half not.
For clients of the racket, college grads, the pickings are lush.
They're 6 figures in debt and they wasted 4 years of their life in adult daycare, but now they're licensed.
That's all a degree is. A license to work in jobs that let you sit in a chair.
And there are more jobs that require the license than there are those who have one.
We wanted a little more confirmation on that 50-50 split.
So we ballparked it in our humdrum American city.
Shame on us all.
So grads get another perk. Choice.
So, what do you say?
I want to work remotely so I can get paid to walk my dog and do my laundry.
But of course.
What would you say is your greatest skill?
Work-life balance.
That's music to my ears.
And lunch.
So all the grads in the market find jobs. There's even some left over.
Hey, can I have one of those?
No.
Why?
They're reserved for people who were in good circumstances when they were 18 years old.
But you guys just push papers around.
Get back to your side.
Bull crap!
Are any of these numbers real?
What are you, a cop?
Yeah.
Then no. Everything we say is a lie.
Guess what?
What?
We're lying.
Liar paradox, fools.
Lying or not, you're acting like there are only high school diplomas and 4-year degrees.
When there's a wealth of
Associate degrees, vocational schools, certificate programs.
We know.
How long do you want this presentation to be?
I'd like it to end right now.
44% of associate degree holders won't apply for jobs that list a bachelor's degree requirement, even if they're fully qualified.
And in an interview process, high man wins.
We're talking in the aggregate.
And not accounting for salary offered.
Which at $80K a year is...
I fly my V8 rocket all over town and see help wanted signs everywhere.
Even if every non-grad wanted a job, there wouldn't be enough for them.
But you're right. A lot of them aren't interested.
Because it doesn't make sense to get one.
high school grads can expect to earn $37,024 a year if they work constantly.
Not you, too.
The federal poverty line, family of 4, is $31,200 annually.
So, the option is physically demanding work.
Food service, construction, caregiving, maintenance.
40 hours a week to come out just a shade above the poverty line.
Not very attractive.
Better than being broke.
They're broke before they get started.
Nonsense. Your hypothetical family of 4 includes 2 parents, 2 children. If both parents work, they're in decent shape.
Not possible.
People do it all the time!
Kind of, but not really. Public schools are in session for less than half the year.
I will concede it is a bit thin.
In our humdrum American city, daycare costs average $300 a week per child.
Family of 4. Both parents working full-time. Annual household income, $74,048.
Weekly household income, $1,424.
Weekly individual incomes, $712 each, will attack mom's income.
It's sexist and unfair, but it's how things tend to work out.
School's out. Daycare, $600 a week.
Gas for mom's commute, $50 a week.
Commute-related wear and tear, $17 a week.
So when school's out, mom's working 40 hours and netting $45 for her troubles.
The cost of a soup and half sandwich at Panera?
It makes no sense for mom to work half the year this way.
When school is in session, she nets $6.45 a week for an adjusted hourly wage of $16.13.
When school's out, it drops to $1.13 an hour.
Averaged yearly, you have mom working full-time for $8.63 an hour.
But even when schools are running, the schedule is no help.
The school day starts around 8 a.m. and ends around 2:45 p.m.
So kiddos can help with the farm chores.
And here's a shocker. Violent crime committed by youth peaks at 3 p.m. on school days.
Then declines considerably following the after-school hours.
Public school isn't a daycare service.
No, it doesn't serve that purpose at all.
No! It's about education!
Well, it's failing there too.
Rats! Fiddlesticks!
New York State spends $30,000 a year per pupil for these results.
The most in the U.S.
To design a setup this stupid, you need a master's or doctorate.
Who has the best public education system?
Sweden.
What do they spend a year per pupil?
$11,765.
Back to America. It makes no sense for both parents to work. Remove one from the job market. Family income, $37,024.
It'd be hard to live on that.
No crap, stupid.
Maybe the dad can get a raise.
They probably don't want it.
They don't want more money?
Wow. You really have no idea how people get by.
I'm an explorer exemplar living on a trust-funded estate. When I pay for things, it's in gold doubloons and rubies.
We're talking about entitlement programs.
No, you are not!
Welfare!
The most forbidden taboo.
The programs pay out monthly, predicated on gross monthly income. What you earn before expenses.
SNAP. Family of 4, max monthly income $32.50.
If the family makes $1 more, they aren't eligible.
With only one parent working, the family gets the benefit, with some wiggle room.
Granting them the $973 food stamp benefit.
Raising their income to a benefit-adjusted $4,058 a month.
Money is money is money.
The SNAP benefit is equivalent to mom working outside the home for 60 hours a month.
But if she worked 60 hours, their reported monthly income would be $41.53.
Making them ineligible for SNAP.
It's why there's a national caregiver shortage, by the way.
There are other programs, but they operate on the same flawed principle.
Hard eligibility cutoffs that discourage people from making more money.
And they have to do something because the next step down is...
Among the sheltered population, age 25 and over, experiencing homelessness, just over 7% had a bachelor's degree or higher.
If they want extra scratch, they're forced into the arms of the black and gray markets.
Under the table stuff.
Mom can clean houses, babysit,
or run an unlicensed beauty salon out of her kitchen.
For a covert mani-pedi!
The non-grad guys do other things.
Under the table construction, for example.
A hard day's work with just their skills and tools. What? What are they protecting us from? Sheetrockers?
And if that's a crime, why not turn to the hot stuff?
Drugs, burglary.
Just like you.
Me. Oh no, I went to Dartmouth.
The Ivy League.
Where the real criminals train.
What did they do again?
They robbed the orphans' gala.
That's right. You robbed a bunch of orphans.
We did.
Scumbags.
We can't be blamed.
If college grads did their part, there wouldn't be any orphans.
We found the ladder. Hold on, I want to hear this.
Why do we know the politics of the guy who drives this?
Why do we know who this person will vote for in November?
If you find this repulsive, why do we know your views on global warming?
If you find this enticing, why is there no chance you work in a warehouse? In America, we're bad at talking about this.
It makes us uncomfortable.
So we use vague or dated phrases.
Like blue collar versus white collar.
Even though today, only 13.6% of workers are employed in blue-collar jobs.
Another cliche. Coastal elites versus middle America.
California and New York are tops, but the top 10 has plenty of middle in it.
The richest live everywhere, unbothered by location.
Another shibboleth. Red state versus blue.
Yet in sky blue New York, only 49% of voters are registered Democrats.
And in blood red Texas, only 39% of voters are registered Republicans.
What does it mean to be upper class?
When only 1% of Americans identify as that.
And 87% of Americans report themselves as middle class?
Take household income distribution, split it in thirds, and you get...
The fact that a few billionaires exist blinds us to the realities we actually live with.
No one knows what they are.
People kind of know, eh?
Because class is about more than money.
It's a collision. Money defining means defining methods evolving culture.
Upper class people go broke all the time.
Lose their job.
Get screwed in a business deal.
When that happens, they don't trade in their Mercedes for a used F-150 and start listening to Jason Aldean.
Working class people get wealthy all the time.
Almost always by building their own business.
When that happens, they don't switch to MSNBC and start shopping at Whole Foods.
In short, your social class is what your mother's was.
Social class passes down along the maternal line.
Nick will further illustrate this concept in a future installment of the Midnight Thunder Show.
I see a light socket and I just have to stick my tongue in it.
Until then, let's just stick with income thresholds.
What's setting them?
What's defining them?
What primary distinction defines class in America?
Not in 1950.
Not in 1990.
Today, in 2024.
College degree holders versus everyone else!
Historically speaking, we were all farmers just yesterday.
And while you might have made a small income, that wasn't the primary way you supported yourself.
People pour into cities, losing their access to natural resources.
And jobs.
Household income.
Labor for pay!
Becomes the only way to survive.
People think money is just a thing that lets them buy stuff.
But it's really a voucher.
A voucher redeemable toward the labor of others.
You're not paying for that water.
If it costs $3 and you make $17 an hour, that water costs 10.5 minutes of your life.
At $58K a year, it's 6.4 minutes per bottle.
A college president working in Troy, New York between 1999 and 2022 earns a bottle every 5.4 seconds.
Money is life converted into paper, traded for a portion of other people's lives.
The water sucker upper.
The bottler.
The truck driver.
The shopkeeper.
Your ancestors had direct access to water they trusted.
You don't.
So our dollar vouchers are also redeemable for things we need, but no longer have access to.
Like a freshwater spring.
Good chance you've never even seen one.
Or farmland.
When was the last time you harvested wheat?
Or to the sub that explores the ocean to find the oil that's refined into gasoline to power your car.
I own a small submarine, but most people don't.
Out of practicality, we've traded our independent skills for wage-earning specialization.
Although the working class, just to get by, has retained some of the old frontier spirit.
While the upper class puts on pioneer costumes, virtue signaling their connection to the natural world.
Claiming themselves as its protector, permitting them to further restrict access.
Securing themselves as its primary beneficiaries.
History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes.
The upper classes have always sought to distinguish themselves as morally, physically, and spiritually superior.
To justify the greater economic value placed on their lives.
But some things you just can't get around.
Mortality!
We're born, live for a short time, then die.
No buying your way out of that, though many have tried.
And no amount of treasure will buy you more than 24 hours in a day.
But upper class time, by design, is more valuable, allowing them to dangle their premium like a carrot and hire working class servants to take time-consuming chores off their plates.
They take the jobs that working class Americans don't want to do.
Our chores.
In other words,
drudgery!
We're physical beings.
Our bodies are degrading assets.
Karl Marx had it wrong. We're all big fans of production.
If you disagree, toss your phone in the garbage.
And the means for it don't materialize out of thin air, and no one will create things if they can't profit from what they've built.
Marx, like nearly all academics, failed to grasp the tangible, logistical underpinnings of our world.
He was a college boy.
He was never going to have to pick up a shovel.
Most work relies on the human body as its primary piece of equipment.
Workers are compensated for their labor, but they're never paid a lease fee on the equipment they provide.
Their bodies.
What about health insurance?
Yeah, that's sort of like a maintenance premium.
Health insurance is a benefit, not an income-increasing make-good.
A perk. meant to attract and retain employees.
Upper class workers
Who get paid to sit on their high knees.
get the best health insurance.
While the working class gets the worst, or none at all.
A flip of what it should be.
And a lot of work-induced wear and tear doesn't manifest until years later.
When the employee is no longer with the company and the employer is no longer paying their health insurance.
Paying? Most companies split the cost with the worker.
They're slithering little snakes, eh?
We're sick of math, but we have the feeling that if working classers were fairly compensated for company use of their bods, almost all would be firmly middle class or above.
And get ready for this, to become this.
It already is!
And just look at how much is being invested to replace human bodies with AI robots.
Those robots will certainly be counted as an equipment cost. The humans they replace, never so.
For now, there's still hard work that needs doing.
Throughout history, anyone who can has sought ways to ensure they're not the ones doing it.
Some of those methods have been pretty dark.
Today's scheme is less violent.
With better marketing.
Which leads us to the American upper class 2024.
They are the most pampered, isolated, leisure-focused group the world has ever seen.
For their whole lives, they've been told they're special.
That their destiny is to change the world.
That they can be anything they want to be.
They had no chores.
Or if they did, they were paid an allowance for things like cleaning their room or loading the dishwasher.
Instilling no sense that the lives they enjoy come at a cost to others and that they owe something back.
They were never punished.
Grounded a couple of times, sure, but hanging out in a comfortable bedroom surrounded by your stuff hardly counts as discipline.
The very concept of discipline was treated as vulgar.
As a primitive, working-class fascination.
They rarely laugh.
And when they do, it tends to be bitter.
Humor requires cultural reference and an embrace of life's absurdity.
They're outsiders of the cultures they promote and make a show of despising the mainstream culture around them.
Getting the joke would betray their connection to the mainstream and expose the absurdity of all their claims.
So no laughs.
And for them, no culture at all. Only gadgets and the fetishes of self-indulgence.
But there's a lot funny about them.
The funniest thing?
They don't know how anything works!
The cars they drive.
The homes they live in.
The appliances they own.
They pay working-class people to take care of all that.
They live in plush, curated worlds of total dependence, yet have the nerve to call others out on their privilege.
Methinks the lady doth protest too much.
Today's upper class was listened to.
Everything they said was treated as valuable.
It's good to be heard.
But when every authority figure listens to you and never calls you out on the stupid things you say, you come to believe that everything you say must be heard and acted upon.
They were taught that education is the most valuable thing.
It's gospel.
It's also strange.
Not the value of learning.
Learning comes in many forms.
Not the value of thinking.
Not the value of reason.
All their cliches of success are lumped on education.
On the education system.
Because playing that system is how you get to be them.
Upper class parents have the means to play it.
Their children are given one responsibility: master this certification paperwork.
They start here. They sit at a desk. People tell them what to do, and they're rewarded when they do it well.
Overseers monitor behavior, enforce codes of conduct, and punish those who step out of line.
Fair enough.
No one should get bullied, and kids need to behave.
But over the last 20 years, the behavioral oversight has become an activist cause, falling under the rubric of school climate and culture.
The working class kids disregard this and are the likeliest to run afoul of it.
They know, and their parents know, that their success will be bare knuckle in a zero-sum game.
While the upper class parents tell their kids,
"Play ball, stupid!"
This is how it works.
Their kids internalize it.
Doing well in school, absorbing its ways and means, becomes their only responsibility.
They're in the system now.
On path to becoming the next generation of hamsters.
True believers in a regulated social order with university-certified overseers dictating codes of conduct, use of language, means of advancement, and economic outcomes.
All progressives are hamsters.
All hamsters are not progressives.
As a 4-year degree holder, I'd like to recognize my unearned privilege.
You're a college boy.
But you seem so...
macho.
I was going to say common.
I mean, you drive a 2009 Mercury Grand Marquis.
Which also happens to be a fire-breathing dragon from another dimension.
And yet there's also something fey about you.
Right back at you, stud.
As if you'd be as comfortable at a demolition derby as you would at a Celine Dion concert.
That's fair.
People like you can't be blamed for living in a bubble.
I do not live in a bubble. I'm one of those weird...
It's all you know.
Lick my finger!
The upper-class kids move on to high school. They sit at a desk, people tell them what to do, and they're rewarded when they do it well.
Overseers monitor behavior, enforce codes of conduct, and punish those who step out of line.
University.
They sit at a desk, people tell them what to do, and they're rewarded when they do it well.
Overseers monitor behavior, enforce codes of conduct, and punish those who step out of line.
We're going this way. You guys have closed the entrance. We are UCLA students. I have my ID right here. I'm being blocked off, not by the security guard, but by you two. You three. Oh, look, they're making their burger while I'm going this way. Excuse me. This is what they do. Everybody, look at this. Look at this. I'm a UCLA student. I deserve to go here. We pay tuition. This is our school. And they're not letting me walk in. My class is over there. I want to use that entrance. Why can't they go? Will you let me go in? This can be over in a second. Just let me and my friends go in. to class.
We're not engaging in that.
Then you can move. Will you move?
We're not engaging in that.
Okay, we're going. We're going. I'm going in. I have my hands up. I'm not hurting them. I'm not hurting them. That's what they do. That's what they do, everybody.
Graduation. They receive their upper-class job certification, confirming their moral and intellectual superiority.
Now go out, change the world, and bring the principal's office with you.
The connection is made. They sit at a desk, people tell them what to do, and they're rewarded when they do it well.
Overseers monitor behavior, enforce codes of conduct, and punish those who step out of line.
There's an exciting, unquantified educational experiment going on right now.
University students, especially ones at the top schools, are using AI to write papers and complete coursework.
Meaning, these cheaters aren't absorbing the essential, rigorous course material that justifies the six-figure price tag.
Some of the cheaters will get caught.
Of those that don't, you think any of them will end up working at McDonald's?
Or even more cynically,
Do you think the uncaught cheaters will do better in life than their non-cheating peers?
Better because they realized earlier.
It's all bullshit.
Cheater or not, once they graduate, they hit a snag. All those people through all those years.
The ones who listened.
Who said they were special.
the ones who believed in them.
They were all getting paid!
Now no one is listening.
No one cares what they think or feel.
Everyone's busy with real life.
What we really need are more public transit options powered by renewable energy and a reduction in urban sprawl.
This is Target, sir.
The realities of the job market, long hidden from them, are now made plain.
The young hamsters were promised choice positions at impressive organizations.
But there's more of them now than there ever has been. And in our humdrum American city, there's only one job for a changemaker.
Too bad. It requires a master's degree.
There are 0 jobs for film directors.
Or musicians.
Or leaders of tomorrow.
And if you want to get hired as an artist, get ready to pose nude or make sandwiches.
$80,000 a year plus is as high as Indeed will let you go.
Which suggests that our earlier thresholds aren't far off.
So let's see what $80K a year bachelor's degree requiring jobs are out there.
Whoa, a manager at a pool company.
Shoot, they want you to have a master's degree.
Looky here. A warehouse manager position in Amsterdam, New York.
The Paris of Montgomery County.
And feast your eyes on this restaurant general manager position.
Gadzooks! It requires a master's degree too.
Maybe our newly graduated hamster is shooting too high.
Let's cut the pay rate in half, keep the degree requirement, and see what's available at the entry level.
Praise the Lord. There are management opportunities at Aldi's.
Shucks, another master's degree requirement.
Looks like we'll have to go back to school.
Maybe we could become an assistant manager at Lowe's.
You definitely want that person to be grounded in the liberal arts.
None of these jobs are bad ones.
But they are perhaps a little less glamorous than what the universities promise.
The average cost of a 4-year degree at a public university is $84,140.
At a private university, $196,000.
No one should go 6 figures into debt to manage an Aldi's.
For the newly minted hamsters, reality sinks in.
And they get angry.
And they go on social media to tattle about it.
Tattling.
They've been doing it all their lives.
In the past, it got results.
Now, it's just tough talk for other hamsters.
And no one in the mainstream understands what they're squeaking about.
They get even madder.
And they start placing blame.
Hey, you! It's all your fault.
What did I do?
Everything.
Meanwhile, there's a lucrative job segment where non-degree holders outnumber the hamsters.
Entrepreneurs!
56% of independent business owners don't have a 4-year degree.
20% have only a high school diploma or GED.
Yet they generate 44% of U.S. economic activity.
And the hamsters hate their guts.
There's no boss telling them what to do.
Or HR department telling them how to behave.
Or how to dress.
Or how to structure their days.
Or what words they're allowed to use.
Or how words are defined.
They can just work harder than us and longer than us and take fewer days off and make more money.
Cheaters!
Which is why hamster-controlled California recently passed a bill that forces companies to count more independent contractors as regular employees.
To protect contractors from misclassification.
Because misclassification keeps every contractor up at night.
They think they care about Uber drivers.
But their subconscious is showing.
Rather than letting grown adults say,
"This sucks. I quit."
The hamsters seek to absorb them into their wheel of control.
Where degree-holding overseers monitor behavior, enforce codes of conduct, and punish those who step out of line.
A world where the principal's office hovers above us all for as long as we draw breath.
A world in which they're the principal.
Which is why the U.S. Department of Labor is trying to take the law nationwide.
And why the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is suing them over it.
The hamsters aren't evil.
They just can't understand.
Safety, security are the only virtues they know.
Look at the things they've built.
Education, universal health care, social security.
And look at the things they demand.
Control over language.
Over personal outcomes.
Over thought itself.
In business, you'd be a fool to think that everyone will benefit from your product.
Unless you're Netflix.
Yet hamsters arrogantly demand total participation in all their schemes.
No opting out.
Everyone has to be a row in their spreadsheet.
And if it doesn't work, who cares?
They've put the systems in place to ensure there are no alternatives.
So what's the solution?
For working class people,
Go for it.
read more and get in better shape.
That about sums it up. What should employers do?
Make the hiring process a cross between American Idol and Game of Thrones.
Resumes are all eyes.
And these days, everyone uses AI to write them.
The greatest soccer player in the world has never kicked a ball.
And your best employee is someone you'd never consider hiring.
Because you only hire the same creature with the same domesticated narcissistic mindset time after time.
The kind of worker who expects your company to be their welfare agency.
In spite of all your diversity talk, you only hire hamsters.
In the future, don't ask for resumes.
Ask for a 1 to 3 minute video.
Ask applicants to describe their life experience, work experience, and why they're interested in the position.
Trust your instincts and go with your gut. Cull down to 5.
Provide that 5 with a list of software and subject material they need to know.
Invite them all for a 3-week trial, paid at minimum wage.
A competitive apprenticeship.
Have managers and coworkers score each apprentice daily.
At the end of 3 weeks, high score takes the job.
With high-scoring runners-up recommended for other open positions, or given automatic entry into the next apprentice group.
The company gets to try before they buy.
And even if they don't make the cut, apprentices get to see how companies operate, what they're looking for, and make adjustments for their next opportunity.
Seems complex.
Better than hire after hire who looked great on paper but ends up being a sociopath.
But fine.
Don't do it.
Keep the current system, but allow applicants to submit certified IQ scores in lieu of degree credentials.
IQ scores?
And you thought welfare was taboo.
They're doing it already.
Doing what?
Screening by IQ.
If companies start requiring IQ tests, they'll be run out of town with pitchforks and torches.
The SAT is an IQ test.
Scores on the SAT correlate very highly with scores on IQ tests, so highly that the Harvard education scholar Howard Gardner once called the SAT thinly disguised intelligence tests.
Then why have major universities dropped their SAT requirement?
They've been in the doghouse for the past few years.
That's cool. And they're taking the opportunity to put them back.
Companies keep their hands clean by forcing employees to take IQ tests 5 years before they're hired.
They launder those IQ tests through the higher ed system, which is able to conceal them behind saintly EDU language.
There is one thing that a college degree is capable of confirming.
That the person who holds it was capable of getting into college.
So let people skip that wasted and costly 4 years and present you with the only thing you truly care about.
Certified proof of how smart they are.
I like your first idea better.
So would the world. Go with that one.
What should the upper class people do?
The hamsters?
I'll let you call them that.
They're all so unhappy.
So resentful.
So lonely.
Their lives are unchallenging.
They seek answers from witch doctors and gurus, but time after time, it's just another charlatan trying to crawl into their wallet.
He doesn't need her. She doesn't need him. No one in their world needs anyone.
Their problems are so small, so cliche, that they have to pay people to listen to them.
They beg for something to point to, for some reason why they feel so empty. They try to find things in their now that would justify their despair, but nothing holds.
People are starving all over the world. Refugees die by the day. The homeless population swells around them. They're well aware of these things.
But their model of the world,
which never included religious observance, civic organizations, or tribal duties,
does not involve them having to endure hardship, physical unpleasantness, or sacrifice.
When boots on the ground are needed, it's never their boots.
That they could be the boots and should be is an alien concept.
They're the ones who sit in chairs.
Charity is just another service to them.
Take my money and fix this thing that bothers me.
But throwing cash at problems never works, so they manufacture excuses for their impotence.
Excuses in their now are hard to come by, so they reach back into the past, recasting their childhoods as a series of neglects. No one will fact-check them. No one was keeping records. Their hallucinated memoir makes villains of loved ones, makes monsters of small indignities and predictable human frailties.
They expand this thought model to include everyone. There's no use looking at facts as they are today. There's only the cruel, brutal past and the harm it has caused.
Don't look to the present, they contend. That's just a result, and we can't do anything about it.
If a working-class person held such beliefs that the past is what's changeable, not the present, their lives would collapse. But upper-class people, like the institutions they dominate, are system-funded, and they can just go on and on, operating on whatever faulty premise is a la mode.
The mismatch between their expectations and their reality leads to depression. They turn to drugs. Because insurance is their sugar daddy, their drugs are legal and medically prescribed.
It's a brave new world.
Of course, just like the old drugs, they don't make your problems go away.
And you build up a tolerance and they stop working.
But for a couple of weeks, how sweet it is.
Many will find our arguments controversial.
They'll shout, "We need to make education available for everyone."
But bachelor's degrees are They're already the equivalent of the old high school diplomas, and soon the master's degree will be the old bachelor's degree.
In time, job seekers will need a doctorate to manage an Aldi's.
It's called degree inflation. Look it up.
Someday, if you want a job that lets you sit in a chair, you'll need a computer chip installed in your brain or something.
They're already doing that.
Other hamsters will dismiss our ideas as anti-intellectual.
We love intellectuals.
We just don't see many.
If you have a friend who teaches at a university, ask them if you can attend their next faculty party.
Spiff up, enjoy the hors d'oeuvres, and ask yourself,
is this a room full of philosophers?
Or a bunch of entitled Chardonnay sippers who like their summers off?
As for what they can do?
Yes!
Actually, tangibly.
Give it to me, baby cakes!
They should start adopting orphans.
They've got the space.
They've got the money.
What's stopping them?
They claim to care about people.
But I guess that only counts for people they'll never know.
Meanwhile, miles away from them,
Maybe right down the street.
There's a child who needs a home.
Needs a family.
it will involve some heavy lifting.
Twitter muscles won't cut it.
But that's what this is all about.
Experiencing something they never have.
Authentic sacrifice.
Genuine inconvenience.
For the first time in their lives, they will cease to be the most important person in theirs.
So, the next time you hear an entitled hamster preaching about society, hit them with this one.
You seem very concerned about the state of humanity. Why don't you put your money where your mouth is and adopt a child in need?
They'll likely throw a word salad in your face.
Accusing you of every crime from Adam on down.
Let them vent.
This is about healing.
And then, when they're finished expelling hot air, reply with great compassion.
That was a nice essay, but you're not in college anymore.
I'm to come down and pay for your crime.
Forget
We'll
it.
live up
Make
here
us.
forever.
Have it your way.
Am I free to go?
I'll walk you out.
Mommy!
Thanks, Midnight Thunder.
Midnight Thunder is the car. I'm Nick.
I know. Thanks, Midnight Thunder.
I was involved too.
So?
So what?
You mentioned you had a bachelor's degree.
Which I'm now ashamed of.
And?
And?
Why don't you adopt a child in need?
You're making me uncomfortable.
College-educated married couples on average are having 0.58 children.
A ton having none.
Dinks!
Some having 1, others having 2.
Then I'm on the high side. I've got 2 rugrats.
All the better. You're an experienced parent.
There's no room for more.
No extra bedrooms in that huge mansion of yours?
No! We have some guest rooms, but the Board of Sovereigns would need to approve a waiver.
Excuses, excuses.
If you all love the idea so much, why don't you adopt a child?
My miniature schnauzer doesn't like kids.
Great conversation. Thank you for your service.